Assalamualaikum. This is Sonia Shan, and this is starts my new playlist. In this playlist, I will share a book study. Actually, I am now reading a book, Case Study Anatomy of $10 million Online Educational Business, and by Ollie Richards. And this is my first recording. So let's start. But you always seem to know the answers, said Tiny Dragon. Big Panda grinned. Well, I have made a lot more mistakes than you. The journey, James Norbury. This is introduction, so let's start from the first chapter. Introduction. Welcome, friend. What you are about to read is a case study into my online education business, storylearning.com, which I founded in a dusty cafe in the Middle East in 2013. Today, I run the business from my home in the English countryside, surrounded by cows, doggy, internet, and some of the most gorgeous beaches in the country. At the start, I had no idea what I was doing, but someone had told me that I could write a blog about my hobby, learning foreign languages. And so I did. Here's what story learning eventually turned into a $10 million education business, profit margin of 50% plus, fully bootstrapped with zero investment or debt, an audience in the millions monthly, and with books on the shelves of every major bookstore worldwide. My workload, about 6 days a month. This case study is a deep dive into how story learning works if you are an educator, course creator, or otherwise sell your expertise online. I wrote this case study for you in the hope that you can draw inspiration from what I have learned, built. Best case, you will be able to commandeer some of the ideas in here to help you build a more profitable education business that is based on the important principles. A business should create an abundance of time and resources for you to live life that exact way you want right now, not in the future. There is a time and a place for hustle, to be sure. But there's also a time for the hustle to end, where you can allow the businesses to exist in harmony, alignment with everything else that matters to you in life. For me, that includes a bunch of things. Collecting my daughters from school every day, morning walks on the beach, then brunch. Why not? Flying, I'm studying for my PPL, meeting my trainer twice a week for an ass kicking, long weekends away, or just talking the day off for the hell of it. A typical week for me includes most of these things, more of that in the final chapter. And this is all possible because I have deliberately designed a business that is optimized for lifestyle and profitability in equal measure. Hustle can be the enemy of this. More is not always good. This is something that no one teaches you. I'm not writing this for high growth venture funded startups. I am writing this for independent entrepreneurs who want to build a highly profitable business that gives you the time, money, and resources to live a full life now, not in some hypothetical future SL event where you sail off into the sunset. Now your business won't look exactly like mine, and it shouldn't. In fact, I have a set of unfair advantages that I have built up over the years that means it's probably impossible for you to design a business exactly like mine. And you wouldn't want to either. I have carefully built story learning to fit my personal preferences and actively shunned by big opportunities that I simply didn't think I would enjoy. So your business won't be the same as mine. But if you want to grow your business in a way that gives you more time and cash flow, then I dare say you will have mindset and strategy blocks that are similar to what I have encountered. As a clever chap once said, there are no such things as business problems, only mindset problems. And my God, I have found this to be true. So on the assumption that whatever lies between you and the business you want to build is simply a set of mindset adjustments. You are going to find a lot to inspire you in this case study. Here are some of the things you will learn: how we sell in ecosystems rather than funnels and why it works, our world building approach to maximizing customer value, how we have diversified and why you shouldn't, what I have learned about growing an audience of millions, our philosophy of reinvesting the money we earn, the 8-figure organization chart that runs story learning without me, some thoughts on the personal side, lifestyle, and personal wealth. Why should you pay attention to any of this? Perhaps you shouldn't. After all, this is just one person's experience. I don't know about you, but I have never found it easy to find good case studies for of real online businesses. But the way I see it, if 118 straight pages of opening the kimono doesn't convince you to pay attention, then it most likely isn't right for you anyway. So take it or leave it. I do my job properly, you will take it. Everything you will read here has come from my almost 10 years of direct real world experience and experimentation. Behind the scenes, I have battled with anxiety, uncertainty, fear, and simply not knowing what the hell I'm doing. And hopefully, that's what will make this valuable. I know in my bones that building a successful business is only 20% the stuff you do, and the other 80% is battling with yourself. That's why I like to think in terms of principles rather than tactics. Principles serve you better, especially when you have learned them first handed. I have also enjoyed monitoring dozens of entrepreneurs and seen the exact same fear, confusion, and overall in their eyes. If I can spare you even some of these battles, this will be worthwhile. It's not that I know more than you, I have just made more mistakes. So I hope you enjoy this case study and the email newsletter that I will send along with it, which I commit to making just as valuable. At the very least, I hope it will inspire you. At the most, I hope you will take these ideas and do something with them. I am sitting here as I'm editing this manuscript at 9:30 on Friday morning. If I see you scrolling down the beach over there sometime soon, sipping a coffee and enjoying the sun of a Friday morning, I will know you are on the right track. A world of inspiration. Picasso famously said, good artists borrow, great artists steal. And like everyone else, I steal. In this case study, you are going to hear a lot from me about the concept, strategies, and philosophies I have used to grow storylearning.com into a multi-million dollar business. But many of these ideas I have learned from other people. As years go by, ideas evolve as they come into contact with reality, and it can be difficult to keep track of who came from. In this script, I want to acknowledge some key people who have shaped how I think about business. You will find traces of all these people in everything I do. Ben Settle taught me to find my voice. Scott Oldford taught me to see my potential. Andrew Jefferson, I don't know actually, taught me to write emails. Dan Kennedy taught me to think. Russell Brunson taught me to sell. Mitchell Singer taught me to cope with it all. Google Docs make your eyes blend. You can buy the paperback Kindle version of this document here. www. Okay, Ben forwarded this case study. You might like to subscribe to the newsletter too, where I send email about scaling online education businesses to 7+ figures. Click here to join the newsletter. Follow me on the social media. No, really, I post good stuff. Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. That's all. So just read this stuff till now. You found that how you can introduce yourself or introduce your business and invite your audience to subscribe your newsletter. So follow you on different social media and gain followers. Followers is equal to business. Business is equal to, of course, halal rizq. As Muslim, our priority is halal rizq. So when you design your business, always you have tawakkul to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do your best. Inshallah, you will make the business that you dream today. Okay, next, start crafting the magic. In this chapter, I will describe how I have grown story learning by deliberating, carving out a profitable niche position in our industry. Read this chapter if you want to cultivate a dedicated fan base that buys frequently and spends liberally. Let's begin with the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. Every marketing course or its sort teaches this, and yet everyone skips it. Eager to skip to the sexy stuff? I am talking about USP, positioning, and niche. Take you pick of the buzzwords, but it's so much more than this. What we are talking about here is the very DNA of your business, the thing that makes it unique, the magic ingredient that makes it irresistible to customers, turns customers into super fans, makes them share it with their friends, makes it impossible to them not to buy your latest product, creates viral properties among new businesses, unbeatable traction that leaves competitors failing in the dust, scratching their heads, wondering what on earth you are doing that simply cannot emulate. Okay, your business DNA. Let me describe the DNA of story learning. Story learning is a language learning business. We teach foreign languages through digital courses, books, and coaching. Story learning has a very simple proposition. Learn a language through stories. A phrase I often use to communicate the echoes of this is learn a language through stories, not rules. Love it. Learn a language through stories, not rules. Lead your life through following Sunnah lifestyle, not society. This is my tagline. I come it. Okay, I'm excited. I would go into the whole backstory here, although you can read about it here on the website if you like. Reading about this origin story is a mini lesson in itself. By the way, you would be amazed how often I meet people who have read my origin story and never forgot it. Here's what's important. The language learning space is a very competitive niche, full of well-known incumbents like Rosetta Stone, and Duolingo. Many of these are huge venture-backed companies. So how do we compete? With our niche, that's how. Every single thing we do inside our business uses stories. Whether it's the emails we write, the courses we sell, our books in the shops, you won't find anything we do that does not have a story at the center. Even our YouTube videos focuses on telling stories. To put it another way, stories is the organizing principles of the business. This is a number of effects. We stand out in a very crowded niche with a very clear offering, unlike anything else out there. This turns off a lot of people, but this is important because for the right kind of person, it makes our brand utterly irresistible. For someone who likes the idea of stories, it's a no-brainer to try story learning. This uniqueness allows us to charge higher prices, higher than virtually anyone else. Thanks to higher pricing, we get better customers because higher paying customers are always better customers. These customers, assuming they like our courses, become super fans because we give them something they cannot get elsewhere. And finally, as a result, customers end up purchasing more, often a lot more. In many cases, literally everything we have ever sold. You can only reach this kind of hit in a customer when you create an irrational passion. We do this by copying a very specific space in the language learning world. What we try to do, in fact, is to completely own the world stories within language learning. Obviously, we have competitors who try to copy what we do, but we would be hard pressed to find anyone familiar with the language space who doesn't think of story learning when you mention learning a language with stories. It's this dogged focus on a tight, narrow positioning that allows us to go all in and to create the impact we do. Now, it goes without saying that you have to be able to back all these up with a world-class product. But as you will see later, for most educators, the teaching part is not the hard bit. Teaching is what comes naturally to us. It is the marketing that we have to work at. This was definitely the case for me. In fact, when I first started back in 2013, the name of the blog was I Will Teach You a Language, a name I seamlessly stole from Ramit Sethi's famous I Will Teach You to Be Rich business. That's how original I was. Uh, Now I want to share my own stories that, because this is a complete book of stories. So this is a pause. Um, it was 2013 September, August, September, and I was doing Akib Bhaya's courses, and he taught us how to write copy for sales pages and emails, newsletters, and etc. Actually, this is the niche of copywriting, and that at that time, Akib Bhaya showed us how to steal from Ben Settle and others uh, famous copywriters. And I reading this just last two lines. In fact, when I first started back in 2013, the name of the blog was I Will Teach You a Language, a name seamlessly stole from Ramit Sethi's famous I Will Teach You to Be Rich. So now my service is Sunnah Lifestyle and personal branding. So do I keep this my product or serve my course name is I Will Teach You how to follow Sunnah lifestyle and build personal brand, or following Sunnah lifestyle and business do business. That's a part of joke. Okay, come to the point and let's start again start reading my book. I have always been terrible at names. It was only many years into the business after we would started to focus on stories that I did a complete pivot and rebrand of to story learning. That was a scary moment. Imagine 301 redirecting your 500K hits a month website to a new domain. I did that and I definitely lost a few nights sleep creating a system. By rebranding from I will teach you a language to story learning, the key thing I achieved was to remove the focus from me and towards a system. Before, learn a language with only personal brand. After, learn a language through stories system. And this was a critical turning point for the businesses. So from this point, there is a learning from me and also from you who are watching this video or hearing this audio, listening this audio, that is when you start a business, it's the key point to include a system in the name of your brand or business rather than something like me centered. It should be something like system centered or customer centered or you centered, not me centered. Learn with me, learn with X, learn with Y. This is called like me centric. So that maybe that works before, but now the business world is too much competitive. So we should go something new and something innovative and something interesting. Okay. And this was a critical turning point for the business. And this is as image. And number one is immerse. Number two is learn. Number three is activate. So let's read it. Having an Identifiable system for methodology for the business helps a number of things. Number one, sales. Most people buy from emotion. They see something and just have to have it. But what happens next is that their logical brain goes through and performs a sense check. Am I making a stupid decision here? A system or methodology speaks to the logical brain. When the logical brain can identify a system behind the product, it is satisfied and allows the emotional brain to go ahead with the purchase. So we started selling more. Number two, skill. Having a system or methodology means it doesn't have to be you teaching it anymore. Why? Because if it's the system you are selling, it's the system people are buying to get their results. The person delivering it matters less. When I made my first courses, I was designing and teaching everything myself. But after we defined story learning methodology, we are then able to bring in other experts tutors to teach the method. This is the second thing I have learned and thinking to apply. My first course is Sunnah Lifestyle and LinkedIn Success, and I have took two mentorships, especially international mentorships, and also a few national mentorships. So I am planning to invite one of my mentor as a guest speaker to my course. It's also planning. I don't talk with them about this. I don't send them any proposal, but it's just the planning. As it's my first course, I don't know how is this effectiveness, but I am inshallah confident to deliver you the 100% what I know and how I transform myself from a general Muslim to a practicing Muslim and leading Sunnah lifestyle, getting sukun in my heart, not just always chasing more and more and more. I am chasing halal rizq, not chasing. I am just seeking halal rizq and barakah from my Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because earning more is not enough if your spending is more. Earning less is inshallah will be enough if your spending is less and you get Allah's barakah. So I want Allah's barakah rather than just making more and chasing always a stupid competitive world. So this is the thing. So I get it from where I take it. But after we defined story learning methodology, we were then able to bring in our other experts. That means my mentors are others experts. I don't know. Inshallah, I will be able to convince one of them. Okay, next. I started positioning myself less than the teacher and more as the celebrity endorser. Ah, this is the another thing. This and in our Bangladeshi circumstances, we don't feel good for collaborating. We always just like doing more and of course alone. If you want to go far, you should go together. If you want to go first, you should go alone. So remember, far together, first alone. In other words, carefully crafting our niche positioning and defining our teaching methodology exploded ourselves and dramatically freed up my time. A lot of businesses get stuck at around five. Okay, let me read it. 500K in sales because the business is too reliant on their presence and involvement. Planning how the business can run without you is a vital step for growth. But I know it ain't easy. I remember when I first starting taking business courses, everyone would talk about the importance of niche, but I didn't know what I was my niche to be. This is also related to me, and I think everyone to you that everybody talks about define your niche, define your ICP, define your goal, need narrow down, narrow down, narrow down. But though everywhere see is niches, but What is my perfect niche? This is the most crucial question to build your dream business. And you have to make lots of mistakes to find out your perfect niche, at least right niche. But I didn't know what I wanted my niche to be. I remember tearing my hair out trying to find my niche. It took me years before landing on stories as a concept, and that came about through endless experiments and restless searching. I am constantly amazed by people I meet who resist this concept and insist their business can be all things to all people. Big mistake. Figure this out, and instant traction is waiting for you on the other side. So if you have struggled to land on a unique and clearly defined niche that you can summarize in one sentence, now that's it's not easy, but also know that you simply have to do it. You have to craft the magic, and things are going to get real fun once you do. Summary. The success of story learning brand is down to very deliberate niche positioning within the language learning space. Having a tight niche makes it easier to sell, charge higher prices, and gain better customers. Defining a teaching system or methodology has freed up my time by allowing expert tutors to fulfill on product instead of me, thereby rapidly expanding the business and reducing my time commitment. Quick reminder, the paperback and Kindle versions of this case study are available if you prefer to read it that way. Click here for that. That's all for today. And let's see, it's too big. So I hope I should make it, read it the next day. Today, that's all. If I want to sum up, then as far I read, you should build a business that is not you centric. That means the owner centric. It should be your customer centric. It should be follow a system, not just as only sales funnel. And you should connect with your audience through your personal stories, mistakes, and the days you have passed in your life. And the third thing is you have to make a lots of mistakes to find your perfect niche. Uh, this is for today. Before ending, I love to get feedback from you and invite you to discuss, mention 3 learnings from this book you have